She was never loud about her pain. She carried it the way the earth carries storms. Silent, patient, enduring. Every morning she woke up with the weight of yesterday still pressing on her chest. Yet she stood. Not because life was kind, but because she refused to disappear. They saw her smile and thought she was fine. They never saw the nights where her breath felt heavy, where the ceiling listened to her tears, where silence screamed louder than words. She learned early that survival did not come with applause. It came with bruises no one noticed. She was told to be softer, to be quieter, to be grateful, even when the world kept taking from her, even when her dreams were folded and placed on a shelf. She nodded, but inside her something stayed awake. Unbroken women are not born strong. They are shaped by loss, by disappointment, by betrayal, by moments where they had every reason to give up, but did not. She lost pieces of herself in places she can no longer return to, in conversations that ended too soon, in promises that dissolved like smoke. Still she kept walking, with cracked faith and trembling hope. She learned to rebuild herself in silence, to stitch her heart together without asking for help, because help rarely came, and when it did, it asked her to explain her pain, as if pain needed permission. There were days she doubted herself, days she believed the lies told to her, that she was too much, or not enough, days she wondered if she deserved gentleness, or if suffering was her permanent address. But every time life tried to bury her, she remembered she was a seed. She remembered she was not fragile. She was transforming. Unbroken women cry, but they do not collapse. They fall to their knees, then rise again, wiser, quieter, stronger. She loved deeply even after being hurt. She trusted again even after betrayal. She hoped even when hope felt foolish, because bitterness would have been easier. But she chose courage. She became her own shelter, her own reassurance, her own home. When the world offered no safety, she created it within herself. They called her resilient, but never asked what it cost. Never asked how many nights she spent holding herself together. Never asked how many versions of herself she had to let go of. She carries generations in her blood. Women who survived without choices. Women who stayed silent so she could speak. Women who endured so she could stand. Their strength flows through her veins. Unbroken women are not perfect. They are scarred. They are tired. They are human. Yet they keep showing up. She learned that healing is not linear. That some wounds ache longer than others. That strength sometimes looks like rest. And courage sometimes looks like saying no. She stopped apologizing for existing. Stopped shrinking to make others comfortable. Stopped dimming her light. Because she realized the world does not reward silence. It consumes it. She speaks now, not to be heard, but because her voice matters. Because her story deserves space. Because other women are listening. Unbroken women become mirrors. They reflect survival back to those who are still breaking. They say without words, "If I lived through this, so can you." She walks with softness and steel, with empathy and boundaries, with grace and fire. She has learned the balance between kindness and self-respect. There are moments she still aches. Moments the past knocks unexpectedly. Moments her strength feels thin. But she reminds herself, healing does not mean forgetting. It means growing around the pain. She honors her journey. Even the chapters that hurt. Even the versions of herself she outgrew. Because every step shaped who she is. Unbroken women are not untouched by pain. They are proof that pain does not have the final word. She is still becoming. Still learning. Still healing. Still dreaming. And if you look closely, you will see it. In her eyes. In her walk. In her quiet confidence. She is not broken. She is forged. She stands today. Not because life spared her, but because she chose to stay. This is for the women who kept going. when stopping would have been easier. For the women who carried their worlds alone. For the women who survived silently. This is for the